Well, after every 1 or 2 weeks or so, we would receive some new updates about open source AI models, or maybe new open source AI models from the likes of Meta, Mistral, DeepSeek, Google, and many others. But unfortunately, these models are usually very big and they do very demanding. They do require a very powerful computer, which means these models are basically out of reach for most people. So you cannot just download them and then run it locally on your own computer, which is very, very unfortunate. However, in the past year or so, we got more and more lightweight and smaller AI models that we could theoretically download and then run locally, even though you don't have the latest and greatest GPU. So just to give you a perspective, I do have a computer that has been a few years old, and I can comfortably run the Gemma AI from Google, and I just want to show you the performance when I'm chatting with this AI model. So I would say something like, hey, what can you do? And there you go. You can see that the answer is almost instant, and it is answering my question with a rate of close to 50 tokens per second, which is really, really amazing. And my computer is not the latest and greatest, that's for sure. I'm using Ryzen 3 3100, quite old, also 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is pretty standard today, and a GPU that has been a few years old. So even with this hardware, which is not basic but also not very, very high, you can see that the performance was really well. And don't worry, even though if you have a computer that is less powerful than mine, there are so many models that are so low, very, very lightweight, that you can run even though you're not, I mean, you're using a computer that has been, a few years old. So let me show you how you can run a lightweight AI model on your own computer. So first, you have to navigate to John.ai. This is the tool that lets us download various open source AI models and having a conversation with them. And you can select the platform. You can download for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And the thing about John is that this is very user friendly. It is privacy focused. This is very different than Ollama and LM Studio, which actually, in the similar field, but they are mostly for developers. But John AI is for consumers. It is a lot easier to use. Now, after you have downloaded the software, you can install it normally, and then you can run this program. And I do recommend you to visit the hub menu here. So when you open this program for the first time, you're not going to see this. You're going to see a greeting message, and to install a new model, you can click the hub menu, and then here you can type the model that you want to download. So there is model from Meta like Llama. There is also DeepSeek. There is also Wen from Alibaba. So or you can also just scroll down here and see what models are the latest, or you can see what are the most popular models in this platform, or you can also use this filter to navigate the model that is appropriate to your computer. So generally speaking, the smaller the model, the lighter the model really is. So if you have a low-end computer, then I do recommend using a model that is no more than 3 GB in size. Now, there are many options here, and let's say I want to use DeepSeek. So I'm going to click DeepSeek, and you can see that there are many versions of DeepSeek R1. There is the version from 1.5 billion parameter up to 70 billion. So parameter in AI means that it's basically how smart the AI really is. The higher the number, well, that means the AI is very smart. But there is something that you need to know about Gen AI. So you have to choose the most appropriate model based on your hardware specification, which is quite difficult, but fortunately Gen AI makes it easy. So you see that there is this warning sign, meaning that I couldn't download this model 32 billion and 70 billion because it is just too big for my computer. I don't have enough hardware to run the model. But up to 14 billion according to Gen AI is fine. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to use 14 billion. I think up to 7 billion is pretty good for me. Now, once you find the model that is appropriate for your computer, you can click the download button. And by the way, you can see the size right here. So I'm going to download DeepSeek R1 versus version 1.5 billion parameter, which is the smallest version. And I'm going to click the download button. Now, I just need to wait until it finishes, and the time it takes depends on your speed and also the size of the model itself. But you don't have to do anything, just wait until the model has been fully downloaded to your computer. Alright, so DeepSeek R1 version 1.5 billion parameter has been downloaded to my computer. You can see that the download process has finished, and I can click the use button, or I can also just click on this thread menu, and it will basically open this chat window. And in order to use the AI model that you just downloaded, you can click on this button and it will reveal what models that are available on your own computer. Now I'm going to use DeepSeek R1, and I'm going to ask something. Well, I will ask the same question as before. What can you do? And still running. And there you go. It's a bit faster than Gemma. And yeah, I think it is based on Qwen, which is, well, it's another model from Alibaba. So it's really amazing that we can run a very good model like DeepSeek or Llama directly in our computer, even though we don't use the most powerful computer. And by the way, I just found a model that is even smaller than this one. There is a model called Qwen 2.5. You can click up again, and then you can find Qwen 2.5, and the size was only 379 megabytes, which is really small. So it's crazy that we have AI that is only less than 400 megabytes. And if you have a very low computer, then you can definitely run this model. As far as I know, you can actually run this with just 4 gigabytes of RAM, if I'm not mistaken, which is crazy. But yeah, that's basically how you can run an open source AI model directly in your own computer. You can ask these models to have a conversation with you, to correct your paragraphs, or create a poem, or create a code directly in your computer. So anyway, if you find this video to be useful, then feel free to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.